and welcome to Grapple City Rewind bonus edition. The second time we did it. I'm Bradley Palermo, as always, with Aaron Fink. Aaron Fink, what's up, dude? We just watched WrestleMania 41, night one. That's why we're here.
We did.
Yes. I feel bad keeping you up this late at night.
I'm not that old, dude. I mean, come on. I did just have my birthday yesterday, but I'm only 36.
Happy birthday
okay?
to Aaron. We talked about it a couple of days ago. I should have talked to you about it yesterday. So happy early and belated both.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. This was a fun night. You know, I think overall B plus for me. What do you? If you had to give it a letter, what do you think you'd give it?
All right, so a letter. I'm not sure. I think early on we had predicted like all the matches. We kind of knew the outcome. It wasn't like so fantastic. I think the ending was kind of awesome. I think WWE kind of tickled their own balls a lot. Like if you watch the afterwards thing, they're like 5-star match, right, Dave, right? You sure? 5-star instant classic, right? Podcasters.
They did say instant. Yeah, they did call it an instant class. I mean, it was very good for sure. It was the best part of the event. Besides
it was good,
Jey winning.
But it's like you don't.
You're like, hey, look at how good this thing was. Let me.
You don't finish your concert with the last chord, and you're like, Rolling Stone loves us. Remember to review. I mean, by the way, remember to like, rate, review our podcast when you're done listening. No, but it was good. It had its moments, right? But
yeah. No, it was an entertaining show. I mean, even with the matches that we discussed and we're like, yeah, I don't know. I could kind of take it or leave it. I think they were all entertaining. I mean, even the ones that we predicted, I think we got most of them right. I think the one we were wrong about was Charlotte and Tiffany, which I was surprised about. And it was a good match too. I mean, regardless of how inconsistent the buildup was, I think that the match itself delivered. What do you think?
Yeah, I was surprised and I appreciated it because I think we had predicted, like you said, every match up until then, and then they kind of swerved us a little bit. And I don't know where Charlotte goes from here now that she's come back and not won for once, and it was clean. It was like a clean finish, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I mean, I think it elevates Tiffany Stratton, and I think that that's honorable of Charlotte to do that. I still think that she should creep closer to her father in championship wins with the 16-17 thing. It doesn't have to happen now. She's not 50 years old. She has plenty of time to do that. And yeah, I thought it was fun. It was a great mix of like just power and athleticism, which I think like sometimes you get one or the other. I mean, Charlotte matches are always good, but it really highlighted Tiffy with the fact that she is like pretty awesome. And the entrances, Tiffany comes out like
in the Barbie thing,
in a Barbie box. Yeah,
that was cool.
And
I did catch a little bit of the press conference before we hopped on, and she said she had always thought of doing something like that before she got to WWE, and then Hunter was like, "Hey, do you want to do something like this?" And so yeah. Also not about night one, but did you watch any of the Hall of Fame last night?
I didn't. I'm really into whether I'm there or not, like all the indie matches. And
there was so much.
I watched like 10 hours yesterday, and I watched SmackDown, but I didn't watch the Hall of Fame. I think
I watched it this morning. And so I
let me know, how was it?
It was. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought, I don't know, maybe I'm getting emotional in my middle age, but I really loved it. I thought everyone's speeches were great. It's just a night to, honor the people that have done great things in the industry. And I just really loved how all the people who were inducted had such nice things to say about everyone. I think for the natural disasters, the tag team that was inducted, Earthquake had passed away, but Typhoon was still alive. And, he was like, he was my best friend and I miss him every day. And, I don't think they're trying to create an artificial moment or something, but just there was a lot of emotion the whole night. And Triple H's speech was really good. It was an hour long though.
Oh God.
He just went on and on. There was literally not a point that I was bored or was like, all right, hurry it up. He had a lot of people to thank. And it was essentially the whole point of his speech was just that he didn't get to where he was alone. He was surrounded by lots of fantastic people who believed in him and helped him to get where he wanted to be.
I watched Sabu's final match last night, which was Joey Janela.
Yeah, how was that?
I saw Sabu's like photos during the day. He went to the Punk Rock Museum. He took pictures with Fat Mike. Fat Mike smashes him over the head with a bag of espresso beans. So you had a nice little stuff. But then just like crazy shit. And we're talking about like ECW, like legendary, like deathmatch shit. Like it was barbed wire, no ropes. So he jumps.
So the ropes were barbed wire.
Were barbed wire, and then outside of the ring there was like a mat of barbed wire. Like,
good Lord, so he is 60 years old.
He went through it, and then he went through it so many times, and then eventually they popped him like so many times with the barbed wire that his head looked like a murder scene. And I'm not kidding. Like the pool of blood under his head was insane. So the lights go out because clearly you need to do some work here. You have a 60-year-old or whatever, 60 something. What did you say his age?
No, he's 60 exactly, born in 1964.
Exactly. Yep. So he's bleeding like major
profusely.
Blood like looks seriously. And I've already seen crazy shit that night, and the lights go out, they come back on, it's like Enter Sandman, and the fucking Sandman comes out, and there's like 2,000 plus people for GCW. The fucking Sandman, if you guys don't know, another ECW legend that's had Dark Side of the Ring shows about him and stuff. He comes out, he's got the fucking kendo stick, which is ECW, from my understanding, is kind of why WWE has the kendo sticks and stuff in their matches. And that whole thing, they were trying to buy some time, but I mean, that was legendary too. Like a lot of the stuff that's indie, that's around WrestleMania, that piggybacks on WrestleMania is kind of legendary too. And like for GCW now to have these like legends like ending their careers in the ring, they're also getting WWE stars. Like they had Natalya
at Bloodsport.
They also had Shayna Baszler. How do you say her name?
Baszler?
Shayna
Baszler.
A combination of the two ways I said it wrong.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler, Karrion Kross was there.
Yeah.
Natalya Neidhart was there.
It was so good. It's getting so big. I feel like WWE is probably going to buy it. And WWE just bought another organization that I've flown to Mexico to see, and I've seen a lot of cool stars there. AAA, which is or we call it AAA. It's the big Mexican promotion. They have Triple Mania, which is kind of like WrestleMania, but it happens in 3 nights in 3 different cities across different regions of Mexico. I've gone to it before and seen like Pinteo Ceramiro and QT Marshall and who's the chick that's married to Johnny Morrison.
Taya Valkyrie.
I've seen Taya down there bleed more than you've ever seen anybody fucking bleed in your fucking life. She was making a point. So WWE goes, I saw El Hijo del Vikingo win the fucking championship down there, and I can't. He was there at the match tonight.
Yeah, so at night 1. Yeah,
I can't believe all my like indie dreams are colliding with WWE. Like this is kind of fucking exciting. I mean, they have Evolve on Tubi on Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights rather, where they have all the indie artists, or the indie wrestlers. Sorry, they're working themselves into a fucking frenzy, like just fucking doing all the shit they do in the indies. And now WWE's like buying stuff up. I think it's probably part of the competition to be like, fuck AEW. We're going to like get in on this before you can get in on it. But
yeah, could be. I mean, certainly seems that way.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the card of the night. So first match of the night was Jey Uso against Gunther. Jey Uso picked up the win as we predicted, and it was a better match than I thought it was going to be. What I particularly enjoyed about it was how at the end Jey overcame Gunther by doing Gunther's own moves against him, including making Gunther tap out to the sleeper, which I was personally very surprised by. I didn't think that's how the match was going to end. So, yeah.
I can't believe that Gunther tapped out fucking clean. Like, they buried his ass, huh?
Well, I mean, they didn't. I think he's proven so much how good of a worker he is and how much he has the fans in the palm of his hand that, like, it's okay for this is his third clean loss, but like that's a bigger deal for Jey than it is for Gunther, I think.
I mean, I think we agreed before that Jey has to win this match or had to win this match, and like, he did, and it was important, and Gunther's really good and he'll be fine.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I was like, damn, you didn't just pin him. The motherfucker.
No, he made him submit.
Quit.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was really surprised that he made Gunther tap out. Like, damn, that was definitive as shit.
Yes.
And then the second match was pretty good. Like, even though it was something that we were like, for, I enjoyed it. New Day versus the Viking Raiders, or the War Raiders. And, it was, we called that one too. New Day did some shady heel stuff and then became the 12-time tag team champions, which I guess I saw in the post show is a record. They've won the most tag team championships.
Yeah, I mean, I know I said I don't give a shit about this match. I kind of didn't when it happened. It's cool that New Day won. I think when the War Raiders got crickets, when they were up there as babyfaces chanting war and nobody fucking did it, they're like, war, war. And everyone in the audience is just kind of like, hey, you want to drink a beer?
But they were into the match. I mean, like, they were invested in the match once it got going. I was actually pretty impressed with the crowd overall. For a giant football stadium with 60,000 people, I felt like I heard them the vast majority of the time. So props to the Vegas crowd. I
paid attention a little bit to the crowd more than I did before because we talk about it a lot on the show. And I think that, I mean, the crowd was like, night one of the Philly show last year was just... They were so quiet. Yeah, and it was so cold. And it was cold out there, and I don't blame them or whatever, but like, it was nothing going on. Like, Vegas has been nuts. Like, since like SmackDown on Friday, like, they've been fucking nuts. But I did think, I don't know. I mean, they tried with this match. They had George Kittle, which I think has someone who's related to him is dating Taylor Swift, right? His brother? No, that's Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce. They're not all the same people. They're not. Right. They're all those big brawny football players are not the same. Okay, I don't watch football or know anything about it. I was like, who is George Kittle and is he fucking Taylor Swift? Was in my notes. No. All right. New Day cheated though to get that pin. They did, yeah. Moving on to Naomi versus Jade Cargill. I think we kind of said that we thought Jade was going to get it. We did, yeah. Yeah. I thought the match was clunky, a little bit clunky. At times, Naomi does this thing where she just keeps having to adjust her outfit. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed it happens all the time. And I wonder if it's just because maybe she had a wardrobe malfunction one time and she's like super nervous about it. Right. But it kind of took me out of it a little bit that I just kept seeing her adjusting her outfit, But I thought overall it was a pretty good match. There were some intense looking spots and it wasn't really surprising how it ended. But Jade on top. I thought it was good. It wasn't super long. It wasn't too short. I felt like it delivered. It was Jade's first WrestleMania singles match. And I can't forget. I can't remember exactly what the stat was, but it's like the first non-title women's match at WrestleMania in like 10 plus years, which is pretty cool too. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know. Yeah, I thought Jade was like a better worker than I still remember her her being. But like I feel like she doesn't. I mean, I don't know, she just looks so fucking good as far as like physique. Yeah, like she looks better than any of the men or women have since, I don't know. You put her up against Lex Luger in like '89. Mm-hmm. Like she's truly amazing, and I feel like they have a wellness policy, so I don't think she can't be roided out. Yeah, I don't think she's roided, man. No, she's just a naturally gifted really athlete. Good. And I think when you look really good, you don't always have like you can get like fast forwarded a little bit through the ranks, and I think she does work better than I've seen her ever
she's
before.
getting better. She's improving, which is all you can really ask for.
And I'm not saying that she's definitely like WrestleMania level, but I was kind of like, okay, there's still moments where I'm kind of like, she doesn't, I don't know.
I mean, dude,
I don't know what's going on. There's some weird shit. Like
she's wrestled less than 5 years, I think.
Who here? Yeah. No.
So, I mean, if you think about it like that,
cool.
She's definitely, I mean, there's always people in the history of any sport, including wrestling, that get thrust into the spotlight before they're comfortable with it or before they're experienced enough for it. But people tend to either sink to the bottom real fast or rise to the occasion. And I feel like she hasn't sunk. She's rising to the occasion. So, you know, for me, it's just like anything else in life. If you're getting better, if you're improving over time, that's all you can really do.
Yeah, let's go. We had Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the U.S. Championship. And
another good match. Crowd was really into this match.
Yeah, I feel like we knew what was going to happen. We knew Jacob was going to get that U.S. Championship, but man, it was good to see him do it. And I know I've said it before, and we've talked about it before, but like he was in the Indies not that long ago. You could pay $40 and be in the front row, and fucking slap his back, and he'll slap yours back. And now, like a few months later, the dude just fucking won gold at WrestleMania.
And he won it clean. Solo didn't interfere, I don't think, right? I didn't see it.
No, he won it clean.
Yeah,
from my memory, and and I'm just glad that he can join the ranks of Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair and Lex Luger, and most importantly, now he's on the same level as Matt fucking Riddle. The fuck, man? Yeah, bro. Who I also saw on GCW this week. But no, Jacob Fatu is a badass. He's fucking 300 pounds and fucking flies through the air like a goddamn airplane and then lands in your ass like a goddamn anvil.
Yeah.
Yes to everything happening with Jacob Fatu. And then we went to Il Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, which I don't usually like comedy in my wrestling. Like, I want to suspend my disbelief, but this was fucking great. You have the white guy who like supposedly went to Mexico and learned lucha libre, and he's coming back with this promo package, and they show the promo package, and it's like a guy with a Mexican accent speaking in English, overdubbing El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, overdubbing him in English. And so you see Chad Gable's like mouth moving a lot, and then you just hear a guy with speaking English in a fucking different. This blows my mind. It's so fucking hilarious. And then he comes out to like the President's March played in mariachi. What the fuck? And then they changed the filter on the thing to look like it's like some old like Super 8 like shit from Mexico from the 70s. The match wasn't like anything to speak home about, but it did end the way we thought it would, which was with Americano on top and
cheating to win. But I did think that maybe he would be unmasked this evening, and that was not true. He was not unmasked. He will
live to see another day.
Yeah, we're continuing this ruse, if you will.
Oh my god!
But then we did get something that we already chatted about a little bit before: Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. I did a little Twitter scrolling. I saw some people thought it was clunky. I didn't really see it. I just thought that it was, there was maybe a little bit more of like shoot style, a real life, animosity thrown in there occasionally. It kind of looked like Tiffany chipped a tooth. Did you see that at the end of the match?
It looked like, there was some blood on her mouth, but I'm not sure like if anything was missing, but it definitely looked like something was going on with her mouth, which
she had a bump on her forehead. So it was a very physical match. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was good. It was not super smooth and polished, but I don't necessarily feel like it always needs to be that way. This felt real because it was a little sloppy, and again, the crowd was behind it. I was surprised by the finish. I think we both were,
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, Charlotte got Tiffany in the figure 4, and we kind of thought that maybe that was going to be it for her, but she attacked Charlotte's surgically repaired knee. And, it was kind of cool. They both started messing with each other's legs because, Charlotte had her knee worked on recently. I think she tore her ACL, and Tiffany is just an aerial competitor. So ultimately, it was Tiffany that got that moonsault and got the win. But I enjoyed it, honestly. I suspect that this won't be the last time that they wrestle, and maybe Charlotte's around for a bit more time, a bit more regular of a competitor. So we'll see.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I mean, if it was clunky or not, like, I just appreciated it, the ending. And I thought my buddy that stopped by that doesn't watch wrestling, take on it was because they're both in like pink, like garter belts and shit. He's like, I can smell them through the TV. They smell like cotton candy fruit stripper smell. Like, I can smell this. And I thought that was funny. I was like, I can smell that now too. But all right, so then we got the main event: Rollins versus Reigns versus CM Punk, which I don't really like the triple threat thing usually, but this was the best triple threat that I've ever seen in my fucking life. You agree on that?
I think so. I mean, eventually, when we feel like it, we're going to start reviewing early 2000s pay-per-views from WWF and WWE. And I suspect there will be some triple threats in there that we're going to like as well. But this is the best one that I can remember in many, many years.
Yeah, I probably haven't seen as many of those as you, but I'm looking forward to seeing more. And this is the best one probably that I can recall seeing. But just real quick, like entrances, like Seth fucking comes out, it's all black, he's got a blowtorch, like the fire,
flame,
all the shit from like back in the day, but he's got a flamethrower, and then the lights go out Undertaker style. He comes back, he's in all white. Like, I mean, the guy goes from like hell to heaven in like a couple seconds. WWE's always really good at doing a fucking lot with the lights off for not very much time. And I feel like they could get the Undertaker like out from like under the ring and appear or whatever. Like, I just really appreciate all of that, like, production. Roman had a great entrance. All of his family are like on screens that like drop down. You got Yokozuna and Rikishi and everybody. And Punk, of course, is
getting Living Color to play Cult of Personality. That was pretty cool.
And the other cool thing about him is Living Color doesn't have the publishing rights to the original recording of that song. He, every time he moves to a different company, from my understanding, has them
re-record it so they can make money.
Like off that publishing. Again, so
they don't have the master recording license. They must have the publishing and not the master, and that's why.
As a musician, I forget like what people know or what. Basically,
I was a minor in music industry. That's the only reason I know. I used to want to do the contracts and stuff, music supervision.
Yeah, like when you get your mechanical royalties off of somebody playing your song on like radio or a casino, or even if you yourself play it in a room, anytime it's broadcast publicly, you get paid for the mechanical royalty on that performance being published in that venue at that time. So even if someone else owns the song or the copyright or whatever, you can, this is all like very quick layman's, but like you can just redo it and have a different version of the song done, and you get paid. No one does that. Punk actually lets the artist have the opportunity to do that, and it's a lot of fucking money, y'all. Like, if you're playing
it's
it,
big
like,
time.
It's based on how many people are fucking that could fit in the room. So when you're getting played every night for Monday Night Raw at like 20,000 caps, like, it doesn't matter if you're there or if your recording is played. Like, it's big money. So that's a huge win for the music industry. I love CM Punk. I think he's on the right side of politics all the time. Wish he would have won this match though.
Yeah, but just despite how it ended, man, it was an entertaining match. They took their time. They had some fights on the outside. What I appreciated is that there was really only one time where I was thinking to myself, where's so-and-so, like, because usually the problem with triple threat matches is that it's two guys and then one of them goes away, and then it's two other guys, and then one of them goes away, and then it's two other guys. It's rarely seamless between all three, and I feel like this match did that very well, especially the end with all the false finishes and the way that everyone was kind of like that the insanity of the match and the ups and downs were continuing from one set of people to another. It was just really, really fun. I think probably my favorite part was the sequence where Punk hit Rollins with his finishing move, a GTS, and then Rollins kind of gets knocked back, but he's not on the ground, and then Roman hits Punk with the spear, and then Roman's, in position to be curb stomped, and then Rollins curb stomps him, and then they all drop to, they're all on the ground and no one's covering anyone.
Dude,
so fun.
Somehow hit, however it worked out, they somehow
all their finishers
all
in like 10 seconds.
They all three hit each other with the finishers, and then they're all down. It's like a Mexican standoff in a movie, but like somehow everyone shoots everybody, which is crazy. And then Paul Heyman is left to be the deciding factor with his chair, and then he turns on Roman by giving it to Punk. Low blows Punk, turns on Punk by giving it to Roman. Low blows Roman, and then I think, Aaron, you called it. You said, I don't know, maybe. I believe it's, we got it on record that you were like, I don't know, it's gonna be Heyman. Maybe he fucking gives it to Seth, but you were also like, definitely not Seth.
I definitely didn't think Seth was going to win. I will take the L on that. But what I was sure about is that Heyman was going to have a very big part to play in the finish, whatever it was.
You did get that. Somebody said, and I don't know, I feel like it might have been mumbled by you, but you're like, at the very end of that conversation,
maybe I was like, I don't know, it could be Seth.
Maybe he fucking turns and gives it to Seth, but like he did, and I don't know where this fucking goes, but I appreciate it because I feel like the Triple H era is like not super predictable. And I was texting you after we predicted the first 4 or 5 matches, like, are we going to predict this whole fucking thing? And last year, night one wasn't that good, like I said. And this year, I feel like night one was good and wasn't predictable and did have things to talk about. And so I'm stoked to see where Heyman and Rollins go with this shit. This is exciting, And
me too. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
I don't know. Like before I left and like jetted over here to talk about the whole thing on this podcast, I did see a minute of the press scrum, and Jey Uso was fucked up. Did you see that?
I did. Yeah, he had a couple of drinkies.
Maybe drunk, maybe stoned, maybe crossfaded.
I don't know. Let him celebrate.
No, I think it was awesome. I think he was like, they were like, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, he's got the sunglasses on. He's like, yeet. Just like fucking, oh, yeah, yeet. And then he starts talking, and it's just mumbly. And I was like, looking at my friend, like, how long ago did he wrestle? And he's like, looking at his watch. He's like,
first match.
We're behind live, so it's like been 5 hours. I was like, oh, dude, this guy is fucked up. So he's so happy. He just fucking won the fucking World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, dude.
Like, fuck yeah, dude. So, I don't know. We just want to jump in there for our little 30-minute thing, and we will be back tomorrow around the same time, late night after WrestleMania Night 2. This has been Grapple City Rewind bonus episode. And if you want to find us or talk to us or give any of your opinions about anything we said or anything we might say in the future, potentially, you can always
or how you felt about WrestleMania.
Exactly. Let us know how you felt or your predictions for tomorrow. We will play them and then respond. You can find all of our contact information below in the description of this episode, or grapplecitypod.com, at Grapple City Pod on whatever social media. I think that's it for tonight. I'm gonna let you go to sleep, Aaron, unless you have any other magical thoughts or feelings about tomorrow that you want to change any predictions or anything.
No, I'll let my predictions lie. I don't even remember what I said, to be honest, but I had a good time, good first night of WrestleMania, and I'm excited to chat with you tomorrow and see if we were right, and watch some Hall of Fame. Well, you're working tomorrow, but maybe watch some Hall of Fame. There were some good speeches, and
I find a way to watch it all, in between everything else. So high fives all around. Good times. This has been a Grapple City Rewind bonus episode. See you tomorrow night. Late, y'all.